is Saturday night. It is about 8:20-ish. Today has been crazy, and I will record another video about what today was like. But I just wanted to mark this moment, I guess. I didn't eat very balanced today, and I was really excited about finally getting to eat food. I was really hungry when I got home, and I purposely went out and got eggs, but I also got the already boiled and peeled hard-boiled eggs and red pepper hummus because I wanted to eat that together. It's one thing I really enjoy. I know I'm allowed plain hummus. I don't know if red pepper hummus is necessarily allowed, but I don't get the ones with the chunky stuff in the middle and the whatever. I just get the smooth red pepper hummus, and it's not super spicy, so I think it's fine. But I was really looking forward to it for tonight, and I reached a point where I was definitely done and was really hoping that I wasn't done. And I feel like this is kind of a foreshadowing of like what it's gonna be like in the future. I'm gonna listen to my body, and my body's gonna tell me stop, and I'm gonna have to just acknowledge that I'm gonna have food left on my plate, and that's just unfortunate and a bummer, kind of, because I honestly still feel kind of hungry, but I also feel like if I eat too much more, it's not going to be good. My stomach pouch is probably full. So, and I'm sorry if this looks crusty and whatever. It's not. So I have half an egg with hummus, and then I have like a fourth of an egg with a hummus. With a hummus. So what I originally did was I got 3 of the eggs, took out the yolks, cut them in half obviously to get to the yolks, and then put red pepper hummus in the middle. And I put 4 tablespoons of red pepper hummus on my plate. I meant to do 3, and I think 1 tablespoon per egg is probably pretty good, at least for the time being, until I can master food, I guess. So I probably got more food than, my stomach can handle, obviously, and I should have maybe done 2 eggs and 2 tablespoons of hummus, and just kind of started at that point to see if I was still hungry. But I gotta throw this away, and I really don't want to. I'm so disappointed. But today was what it was, and I think this is just a lesson for me, and I'm gonna listen to my body, and it tells me no. So I'm gonna honor that and understand that in the future there's going to be stuff left on my plate often, especially if I'm not taking time to like figure out what might be the best option, what pace I should be going, and the amount and portion size that I'm taking. So it's a lesson. It's not a fun lesson, but it's a good lesson, and I want to remember. So gotta throw away my yummy egg. It's gonna be fine. It's a process. This will not be the last time. So, but I will enjoy the rest of my lemonade and fruit punch mix, because I need to get hydration in. So we'll chat later, okay? All right, it is Sunday. It is a new day. And guess what? We got eggs and red pepper hummus. And I'm going to finish these because it's earlier in the day and I won't have to eat them as fast. So I'm not gonna waste any food. But I wanted to show you something. Let me see if I can do this. The shirt, like, it wasn't super tight before, but there's extra space in my shirt and I'm comfy and cozy. But there's extra space. I showed it to my husband and went over to where my husband is working from home in the next room, and I was like, I think there's extra space in my shirt. And he goes, there's totally extra space. I'm like, this is so cool. So, very excited about having extra space in my sweatshirt. I envision this sweatshirt being one of those sweatshirts that I have that's like an oversized sweatshirt where I wear with leggings just to be cozy, but it's like oversized. Right now, it still fits, but in time, it will just be an oversized sweatshirt. So, wanted to talk a little bit about yesterday. It was my husband's birthday. So the first part of the day was pretty normal. Had 3 meals before we ended up going out for dinner, and walked the dog and did chores and whatnot, whatever. So we went to a place where he really wanted to go. It's a big place here. It's Mexican food. It's like a whole experience. They have all kinds of, they have like arcade games, and they have attractions, and they have characters walking around, and it's like it's a whole experience, and it's a place he has a lot of memories at with his family. This was my first time there, so I really didn't know what fully to expect. The place is gigantic. Anyway, so I knew this was going to be really hard just because, again, I'm still limited on what I can eat. I'm not having like spicy things necessarily. I know I have red pepper hummus, but it's pretty bland compared to other spicy things. And like, I can't even really, I maybe could have taco meat, but I don't know if I want to risk that yet. I don't know if I want to go that far. And this is a place you have to order. We have to order there. So, we went there for his birthday with the kids, and then, one of his siblings came, and I'm going to tell you, when they laid the chips and salsa on the table, like, I got sad right away. And like, even before we went in, one of the kids was saying something like, are you sad that you don't get to eat the good food they have here or whatever? And I knew they didn't mean it in a way to be like, guess what, we get to eat and you don't, kind of a thing. It was a very innocent question. And I said no, because that's what you do when you're an adult. I lied. I lied and said it wasn't a big deal, because I didn't want them feeling bad about it or whatever, and I was hoping it would be a conversation that wouldn't continue, because I'm like, if I said yes, then we'd have to talk about it some more. So yeah, so we sat at our table and got our chips and salsa, and I sat there and I was like, I'm gonna be fine. It's his birthday. I want him to feel feel special. I want him to feel important. I don't want to ruin this for him. I just was really hard, and he could tell that I wasn't feeling very happy. So they ordered food, and they ordered a plate for me, just because we had to. And so basically got an extra, like, whatever. Anyway, so we had, the food, when the food came to the table, I just sat there and I was like, this is killing me. Cause, one of the kids got, chicken fingers and French fries. And I'm just gonna be honest, like, when I go anywhere, that's usually the thing that I want, is the chicken fingers and French fries. I still eat that. I love chicken nuggets, chicken tenders, French fries. I love potatoes. So we had 2 plates of that because we had the kids, and then we had 3 adult entrees at the table. And of course the nuggets and French fries were like right in front of me. And I was like, this is killing me. This is killing me. Like, my husband finally like leaned over and asked if I was out, he's like, I'm sorry, whatever. I know this is really hard. And I was like, yep, this is really hard. And I was like, we don't need to talk about it because it's just going to make me start crying. And I'm like, I don't want to ruin anything, whatever. So I sat there while they all ate. And I'm just going to tell you that if you're having bariatric surgery and there's some special event going on and you're going to be going out to eat, just know that it's probably going to be really hard to sit there. I mean, personally, if it wouldn't have been his birthday, if it would just been some other experience or whatever, I probably wouldn't have gone because I knew it was going to be hard. If it was just some random whatever thing, but I was like, I can't let my husband down and not go. But in those first 6 weeks, I would recommend not going out to any place special for dinner unless there's something you know you can have. And because it's just, especially if you're like me, you know, if it's something different for you, or if you're a different personality than me, then maybe you can handle it. But for me, it's like food has been this thing that I really gravitate to because it's a comfort to me and I love eating food. And, you know, I've been eating, you know, fried food for a long time, and just, it's something that is like deep seated, like just, it's just really hard for me. And, you know, for me, it was an emotional experience. And, you know, at some point I'm going to be able to, you know, in a few weeks, I'll be able to eat things. I'll be able to, you know, do more, but, you know, it's still going to be a progression of like being able to eat things. And, you know, the amount of food that they had, even on the kids' plate, I mean, I couldn't eat all of that. And I don't know what I would have if I went there. But it was really hard, and I knew it would be hard. I just wanted to make sure my husband's day wasn't ruined because I was emotional. But I was thankful that he acknowledged it and didn't make me feel bad for feeling upset about it, because he has we both have issues with food. So it's like, you know, we know how food makes us feel and that we crave certain things. And when you're watching everybody else eat, that's really hard. When you have the surgery, I think you have to get over that to some degree, because there's always going to be somebody eating something you can't have, or eating more than what you can have, so you can have it but not the same amount. And, you know, you're going to be around food forever, and that's going to always be a point of contention, but in some way inside of your head probably. But also it's like you are also allowed to protect yourself and not put yourself in situations where that's going to be an obvious issue. So again, like if it wasn't my husband's birthday, I would not have been there. Because even when they've ordered pizza and when he's had like McDonald's or whatever, it's hard to be around. But and he's been good about like not bringing all of it into the house. And it's not like he has it all the time, but just it's such a gear change for my mind. Like even last night when I couldn't finish my eggs, it's like it's so hard. So yeah, so my recommendation, if you're having bariatric surgery and there's some outing of some kind that you have scheduled, if you can find something on the menu, cool. If you also feel uncomfortable going because it's going to be really hard to be around the food and watch people eat when you basically just sit there, because that's what I did. I just sat there. I did have food in my bag, but then it felt weird bringing it out because I was like, I don't know if I'm going to get in trouble for that. And then I ended up not getting home until late, and then I had my food. I was so hungry, and then I didn't. It was kind of a rough day as far as that goes. But I would recommend trying to put some boundaries up with that if you can. If you can avoid it, make sure you bring your water and your food if you can. And just kind of go into it knowing that it might be a little challenging. You might want to cry. I wanted to cry. And then, you know, maybe not everybody's going to understand. Thankfully, I had, you know, my husband understood what was going on inside of my head. But just know that it's normal to feel emotional about it. I think it's normal to have that kind of a reaction of, oh my gosh, like we're surrounded by all this food and all these people are eating and I can't have any of it, or I can have this much of it. And it's an adjustment. So I just wanted to talk about that because it was an experience, and I'm thankful it's over. And I have no plans to go out to dinner or lunch or anything with anybody for at least a couple more weeks because I don't want to go through that again. But again, I'm still going to have to be adjusting to being around more food and having leftovers and not being able to finish everything on my plate. And that's just going to be how it is now. And I don't know. It's a hard place to be. It's a hard place to be, but it's also what I chose to do, and this is the road I'm on now, so I need to make the most of it and not let it get me down, because this is the new norm for me. When I'm with people, I'm gonna have to adjust, but I will say that the first time or two I think is gonna be hard, just because it was so focused on the food. And also being limited is really hard, but in the end it's gonna pay off. But I think this is just one of those emotional moments that I had with this process, and it's okay. So yeah, so I'm very happy to be home. I'm very happy it's Sunday, and I'm very happy that I'll get to eat my eggs and eat them all, because I'm gonna eat them slowly. And I still have room, I'll have room in my stomach for all of them. I just won't have room in my stomach for them all at one time. So, and then I got my lemonade fruit punch mix, and I'm gonna hang out with the dog. So, stay encouraged. You're doing great, whatever you're doing with your weight loss. If you're doing surgery, if you're doing meds, if you're doing just calorie counting, whatever it is, there's always going to be something that's going to be challenging and a struggle, and the first few times you do it, it's going to be hard. It's an adjustment, but the more you do it, the more you're around it, the more you experience it, the more you feel encouraged with the way your body feels. It's going to get better. And I'm not just saying this to you, I'm saying this to me. I'm saying this to me. I'm trying to encourage myself right now. So, all right, I need to eat some eggs. Hi guys, thanks so much for watching this video. I appreciate it so much. I would love to hear from you. Please comment below, like, comment, share, do all the YouTube-y things. Supports the channel, and I really appreciate that. And I hope you have an awesome day. Bye.